Welcome guys, welcome to the urban version. No, I can't do it. Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel. Welcome to episode 12, answer video from Stats to Strokes. The series which I've created to try and make stats a little bit more fun. And to make it more fun, rather than doing it in a fun way, I've just put a competition in so someone can win a custom fit set of irons. There you go, nice and easy. That's how to motivate people. Get a prize. Right, so hello, thank you very much. I appreciate every single person who subscribes. A little note that went above my head. So 2 days ago I sent out a question for everybody. I've done a live stream for part 12. There you go, hole 12. So the whole idea of this, we'd have 18 holes stacked with scoring, so it may actually not get to 18 holes if someone is more than 5 points ahead. Kind of match play, kind of, yeah, you kind of get the idea. So you get 5 points for every single hole. If you just stick one weird wacko answer in, doesn't matter if it's got nothing to do. Say, what's the average distance a 12 handicap hits a golf ball from the hole from 150 yards, and you reply lettuce, get a point. So you can get at least 18 points out of this, but and obviously you get it right. Obviously it's not lettuce, you get 5 points. So there's lots and lots of points on offer, and we're on episode 12. And so we've had a little bit of I will come to a fairly serious note in a second, but let's just pop through, as long as I remember. Let's just pop the question. Let's just whack both questions up rather than mess around doing bits and pieces. I have got, as you can see, the chat. I always get my finger wrong there. Live stream, obviously. I've got the chat there. So if anyone wants to jump onto the chat, they can do. I'll be responding to people's chat, etc. Yeah, it is Saturday evening now, 7:30. Yeah, I've been up for a little while, 10 hours of movement. So yes I have, but that's a collectively 10 hours of movement. That's not bad, I suppose, from considering I've been up for 13 hours now. So it's 3 hours of not doing anything. Right, so let's just quickly flick it over. This is Saturday, why not? A little bit more relaxed. So it was a two-part question for question number 12. Part 1, a 5 handicap, 3 putts, 1 in 5 times from how many feet? There is going to be, on this answer only, on part 1, there is going to be a little bit of leeway, shall we say. And the leeway is basically, because there are, I'm not going to penalise anyone for giving the wrong answer, or, more shall I say, I'm not going to penalise anyone from giving the right answer from the wrong time. So, obviously, this is all powered from ARCOS. And ARCOS data changes. Of course it does. It moves. It kind of just yeah, a little bit of from season to season. So, people think stats are stats. They are. But generally speaking, they will move. And they will move winter to summer. So, there's a distinct difference in statistics depending on what time of year, on what kind of statistics you're looking at. Green speeds change, green reception, or the amount of how the golf ball stops on greens distinctly changes at different times of the year. So the question to number 1, I've given a little bit of leeway. And so, well, the answer is, I'll tell you what, let's just go straight into the answer, shall we? So there we go. There's the answer, is 30 feet. However, I am taking answers anywhere between 26 feet and 33 feet, because depending on what data point you're taking from, as in what time point you're taking from, you are not wrong. Kind of get the idea. So if you answered anywhere near between 26 and 33, you're a winner. Well, you're a winner of 5 points anyway. So this is a 2-part, and what we do on 2 parts, we basically get the numbers from both and then average them out. And generally speaking, I was, to be as fair as to with everyone as I can do, I then, rather than average down, I always average up. So people get as many points as I can possibly allow them to have. And there you go. So it's 30 feet. Anywhere between 26 and 33. I will take, because it all depends on what time you're looking at. Yeah, you kind of get it right. So back to the question. Anyone wants to pop on chat, they can do. It is behind here. I can see it on my screen, but it is behind here. So anyone wants to ask a question whatsoever while we're on live still, by all means, go ahead. Right, part 2. A 10 handicap golfer has 3 or more penalty shots on what percentage of their rounds? Now, all these answers to the questions, I've made this purposely a little bit more easier for people to find out the information. The whole idea of this is not to just bore everyone senseless and only the people that can spend that much time in front of Google searching countless pages trying to find the right answer. There is time for that. I don't think necessarily now is the time. The whole idea, and just got a little update on there. So we had a volley of correct answers. So whoever said, as he frantically goes for the answer button, 25%, you're spot on. And so there was, obviously there was answers that moved around a little bit on both the top and the bottom, and so it doesn't matter. The whole idea, people either researched it and gave their answer, or didn't research it and gave their answer from their own ARCOS data or from their own experiences. Doesn't matter. The whole idea, we're doing this for a bit of fun, obviously, so we can be in a chance, obviously, winning this custom fit set of irons, but mainly from my point of view, I'll be honest, from my point of view solely, is just so you guys learn. So let's just sort of delve very, very quickly before we get to the leaderboard. I've flicked over so I can see it on my screen. I've got 2 screens going. One my editing screen, and then the other screen is what you see. And so what you see there is the answer video, and I've got the questions up on this left-hand one. And I just really, well, let's just do question 1 first. So a 5 handicap 3 putts, 1 in 5 times from 30 feet. They've got a 20% chance, basically, from 30 feet of 3 putting. Now, that's only 10 yards. It's not massive. And that's a 5 handicap golfer. 5 handicap golfer is generally a decent golfer. Most golfers spend their entire life trying to get down to a 5. And when you're in that position, so when you guys, I will say one thing, and this statistic keeps on coming through all the time. This myth keeps on coming through all the time. And this whole idea that the perfect speed of a putt is 17 inches past and stuff like this, 18 inches past the hole. It always constantly drives this idea in people's heads that they've got to be past the hole. Never up, never in. At least you gave it a go. All those lovely little cliches that we hear that golfers constantly say, right, well, at least I got it there. It's gone 4 foot past, but at least I had a chance. Right. So the reason why golfers shouldn't do that, the reason why golfers should try and dive the golf ball in the hole from any distance whatsoever is a couple-fold. One, your dispersion, any person's dispersion, doesn't mean just on the putting green. It means in short game as well. When you're doing short game stuff, when you're doing putting stuff, even when you're doing approach play, the closer you get to the hole, the more your dispersion is going to go north and south, front to back. The classic thing is if you're 6 feet away, you are, I can nearly guarantee you're not going to be 6 foot left or 6 foot right. You're not going to miss the putt by 6 foot left or 6 foot right. You're not going to do that. But commonly you can hit it 6 foot past, depending on the speed. So it is incredibly important that people get their speed right. Line is important, of course it is. I'm not saying it's not. But primarily, the most important thing is speed. Try and get the golf ball dying to the hole. The classic thing of never up, never in, at least you got it there kind of idea. What happens is, on the second thing, if you were to try and get everything past your hole, yes, you know the ones that you guys can just probably think of these in your head. All the occasions where it's going straight, it's tracking straight for the hole and just rolls a couple of rolls short of going in. And you think, well, if I'd have just hit it harder, that would have gone in. And for those, you are right. Yes, you are. But if you look at your capture, let's say from whatever distance, 10 feet, doesn't matter, and you have a capture of how far you're around, the ones that you wouldn't have got in, which you now have, the ones that you did get in, and this is on a straight putt, yeah, this is not on curvature. As soon as you add curvature, you add a completely different idea on it, because then you possibly would have missed more because of the different rate. Anyway, yeah, we're just talking dead straight putts, the most chance of you getting it in. If you'd have hit the ones that went dead pace, they're in anyway, going a little bit faster, that's fine. The ones that you missed because they weren't quite enough, they've now gone in, yes. The ones that have gone in with a certain amount of speed have now got to a point of where they are going to be lipping out. They're going to hit the back of the cup and blah, blah, blah. The ones that you were going to be hitting the cup and wondering if they're going to be in or out have definitely just gone way past, and they've gone way past now so far that you are now potentially 3-putt territory, depending on many different things. So there's a reason, doesn't matter. Perry's in the house, evening, checking in to see how far wrong I was. We haven't got to the leaderboard yet, Perry, so don't worry. But the whole idea of putting, always, guys, I will say this before we get to question or part 2 kind of explanation. Every single time you're on the putting green, speed is important, line's important, absolutely, but try and dead bin that one. Just try and get it within the smallest bin you possibly can do. Don't constantly think you need to get that golf ball having a go at it. If you do that, you're going to leave yourself 4, 5, 6 footers past, and I guarantee you, you will 3-putt some of those. And if you look at the statistics, and the statistics bear out constantly, just try and die in the hole. There you go. Right, part 2 for the 25%. A 10 handicap golfer has 3 or more penalty shots on what percentage of their rounds? 25%. That is mental. If you think about that, that's a 10 handicap golfer. Again, not quite as good as a 5, but I've known many people spent their entire life, well, not entire life, they're not dead yet, but you kind of get the idea that trying to get down to a 10, never got there, and like that, a 10 handicap golfer has 3 or more penalty shots on 25% on their rounds. 3 or more penalty shots is like crazy. And a lot of that is planning, incorrect, poor planning of understanding the patterns with driver. Let's just pick on driver for a second. Driver is one of the biggest culprits of penalty shots off the tee, OB, or anything else like that. People should know by now, hopefully, that they have patterns with all of their golf clubs. The great thing with ARCOS, and ARCOS does give you an understanding of where your patterns are, because it does distribute lefts and rights and stuff like this. You should also have an understanding when you're practicing, when you're playing, what holes, when people turn around and say, oh, I struggle with this hole, I always end up going right on it, whatever it would be. They already have subconscious patterns of understanding what they do. And if they know that they've got issues with certain holes, or they know they've got issues with their shot shape and trouble on certain side, they can always mitigate that by changing golf club. And yes, you are going to find yourself in a situation where you might have a slightly longer shot and stuff like this, yes. But if you can try and get the next golf club down, doesn't matter how many, if you have to go down to your hybrid, which you can guarantee that pattern is not that same way as driver where the trouble is, you can save yourself on average shots. And a 10 handicapper, 10 handicappers only got 10 free goes. That's how I like to call it. 10 free goes at 10 mulligans, whatever you want to call it. It's not mulligans, but you know, 10 goes at trying to obviously get around the golf course, and they're wasting that many on a quarter of their rounds, which is mental. Now, I call it 10 handicap. Remember, people think 10 handicap, well, 72, 82. You are not supposed to be scoring 82. If you are scoring 82 as a general rule, then you're not going to be a 10 handicap. You'll be less than that, because remember, the handicap system is always set out to be lower on your handicap than your actual score. You should only within reason shoot, again, depends on what handicap system you want to look at and how old that, because obviously everything's changed and stuff, but give or take 20% of your rounds you should be meeting or slightly beating your handicap. Not by much though when it comes to beating. If you do beat your handicap, it won't be by much, and if it is, then you're going to be hammered. but you kind of get the idea. So people say you're a 10 handicap, 72, 82, you go around an 85, that's a decent day. Yeah, you think, well, it's not, it's 13. Yeah, but you're not supposed to play your handicap. Well, you're supposed to, but only 20% of the time. There you go. Pete's in the house, evening, hello, hello, hello. I'll just sort of like clear this off very, very quickly to show you. Then we've got Perry and Pete's in the house, hello, hello, hello. So we're just going through the question and answers before I trot off. I've been busy today editing. What have I been doing today? The Ping i530 versus the i525. How much difference does the new tech make? How much of a benefit do you get from going the new one? I will put one out here straight away because obviously from Stats and Strokes it's a very niche kind of audience, so I'm not going to be like telling the world this. There's not much difference between them. So there you go. Looks wise, absolutely there's distinct differences between them, and if you're someone who likes the look of i530 distinctly over i525, there is a win. Yes, there is on i530, but it's relatively small. The one I did yesterday, which will be coming out tomorrow, yes, it's already uploaded, ready for upload, well not upload, it's already uploaded, but ready for release tomorrow, 3:30 Sunday afternoon, is the 2023 P790 against the Pro 245. So I'd already done the Pro 225 video against the P790. That done very, very well. People loved that. Obviously, let's be honest, the P790 beat the 225. So the 225, same class for Mizuno as the P790 class for TaylorMade players distance category, and because the P790 came out after the 225, effectively what's happened is the design of the P790, and as with this kind of category is possibly one of the most fastest growing categories of all golfing sides of things, they're moving quicker, and one model coming out in 2022, one model coming out in 2023. The 2023 one absolutely had the legs on the 225. So the interesting one will be for the Pro 245. Has it been, has it done better? You'll have to wait until tomorrow's review. Jerry's in the house. Yeah, I finally got one right. Well done, Jerry. Well, it was a fairly high score in there. So let's just get onto the leaderboard, shall we? Let's just go straight onto the leaderboard. Let's see if I can find the leaderboard now. Which one's this? I'll make sure this is the right one, because that's I probably, yes it is. Cool, right. I'll wait for it to scroll a little bit. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll fade that one off like that. And now, I'll wait for it to flick in. I'll wait for the scroll through because I want to build a little bit of suspense, you see. And there is a little serious point I need to do after this anyway. But here we go, I'll flick over now, there we go. So we're at the bottom end of and these people that you see here, basically they've just joined in for one episode out of 12. And so that's why they've only got 4 points. We are going to be very, very, the whole idea of this whole idea is just basically just to, every single episode, get involved. We've still got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We've still got 6 more to go, 5 points. That's 30 points still available. Here we go, right. So we've got a high scoring round. We've got lots of 5 points and 4 points, 53 to 49. So we've got 4 point lead, 3 point lead, and a 1 point lead. So we are 44 for Ian. There we go. So there is a thing I want to say, and anyone who's watching, after this in the repeat side of things and everything, if they know who Ice Tray 2468, Ice Tray 2468 was leading for quite some time. He had a 5 point lead, a 4 point lead, 5 point, all that, and he was always consistently leading some fairly early on. And so it was always a bit of a running joke, can anyone catch Ice Tray 2468? However, for like last time, on episode 11, Ice Tray 2468 didn't give an answer. And so, as you can see there, he obviously now, Ice Tray 2468 now down in tied 11th on 43 points. He hasn't now, Practical Week saying really useful stat today, thanks, no problem whatsoever, thank you very much for joining in. But Ice Tray has not given any kind of input into any, hasn't commented on anything and stuff like that. So if anyone knows who IceTray2468 is, just in case they do, if you can reach out to them to make sure they're okay. I've already tried to message him on a previous answer to a previous show, hoping the notification will get through. But if anyone knows who he is and knows how to get a hold of him, just do a quick welfare check if you can. Make sure IceTray2468 is okay. Right, so let's just quickly pop out like that and go back on there. Perry says, is Trey the PGA Pro that guests on Sky? Don't think so. Don't think so. But yeah, anyone who does know him, if they do, or IceTray, if you are listening to this, just pop a message across, make sure you're okay and stuff like that. It's just a welfare check, make sure you're okay, because you were going hammer for like hell for leather. You were just sort of being 4 or 5 points ahead of anyone else, and then suddenly for the last 2 episodes you've been quiet, and of course now Niels has overtook. Quite a few people now have overtook. That's not to say that you can't get back involved again. You're only, can't remember now, 10 points? I think you're 10 points behind. That's 2 episodes at 5 points. You see how easy it is for other people to move around if they don't answer, if they forget, if they don't have the notifications turned on. And also, Ian did make a note, and I will sort of like bring this up because I want to put it out to you. One of the very early things I asked for, again, and I will be honest with this, I have got no way of tracking this, and it is just a request. But at the very start, when I did this whole idea, I said, right, if you could like the videos, comments obviously with your answers, if you can, you have to be a subscriber, obviously you have to be a subscriber to the channel, and you have to follow Sub70 and 11 Golf on their Instagram and Facebook, because obviously they're the people which are putting up the price for this. Thanks very much for them. But I've got no way of policing likes. I'll be honest. I know I get likes, but I don't know who's liked them. I would like for everybody to like it, because and every video that I do, on the basis it does wonders for the YouTube algorithm. Comment below, even if you're right. I can't remember who it was now. Is it Neo? I can't remember now. A lot of the time they comment just for the algorithm. It's just because it helps the engagement part of the algorithm to boost the videos on YouTube recommendations, home pages and stuff like that. So mid-pack for me, as usual, be the grey man. Poor Barry. But you're learning lots. This is the thing. For me, I don't mind who wins. It doesn't bother me in the slightest who wins. It's a fun way of trying to get people to get involved in statistics. Statistics can be really simple, as in percentage plays when you're playing golf. How many times have you hit a shot and then after hitting it, you've thought, why didn't I even check the wind was, why didn't I even check that? Or, yeah, I am on an uphill lie. Or anything like that. All the little brain farts that people have, and they look at it afterwards and go, why don't I think of that? Like, that's so simple. What am I doing? Wake up. Mental errors are statistics, as in percentage plays. What is your percentage play from the lie you're in, with the wind you are, from the pin position that you're in? If you're at a front pin position, never go for a front pin position. If you're a PGA Tour pro, maybe, but I can guarantee you the caddy is still telling that PGA Tour pro that 4 yards past is still fine. 4 yards past, taking into account, even PGA Tour pros, and they don't. PGA Tour pros have a bigger dispersion left to right than they do front to back. Yes, that's true. But still, they have a dispersion front to back. And so the whole idea of them going for a front pin on a lot of American greens where they do slope, this whole rubbish of leaving an uphill putt and stuff like that, for a PGA Tour pro, may statistically be worthwhile. Again, I need to check that one because I don't know if that's another myth, but I know for a fact that uphill putts, downhill putts and stuff like that, any gradient putt, just get as close as you can. The statistics completely do not adhere to below the hole, because again, it comes down to your dispersion pattern. Your dispersion pattern of approach is always short, and so if you're trying to leave yourself an uphill putt, you're going to be potentially much shorter, and any benefit there could be perceivably between an uphill putt and anything else will absolutely be squashed by the distance that you'll be further away from the cup. Perry said, as a mid handicap, it's nice to see there isn't much difference to a few handicaps below me. You'd be surprised. And one of the reasons I do what I do on here is just to sort of understand, especially when I'm doing 5 and 10 handicaps, is 5 and 10 handicaps, good golfers, like really decent golfers. I can remember when I was going through the handicaps and stuff, getting down. Yeah, I mean, like the first time I shot in the 70s, I was like ecstatic, and then it's just then getting down past a 5 and stuff like that, and then getting down to scratch. And then the first time I shot in the 60s, but what you find is that people that are 5 and 10 handicap, they are good golfers, and they still make daft choices, and they still mess up far more than the higher handicaps think they do. And so they kind of put lower handicaps on this kind of pedestal where they look up to them, and then if they hit a certain shot, they're instantly upset with it, because they believe their expectations are far beyond what they are actually averaged to do. And so this is the great thing with shots gained. Shots gained is an amazing tool which more people need to truly understand. It will target your understanding of where you need to focus your practice time on your game, depending if it's your short game, it's your like your tee off shots, your approach play, your putting, anything else like that. It will really very much so direct you on what area you need to work on to get the best. I call them, when I was coaching and custom fitting full time, I used to call them mistake bubbles. And so someone come in and I would try to pop the biggest bubble first. And depending on how you pop that bubble, you could possibly get rid of some other bubbles down the line, because they're of a byproduct of fixing one thing, you know full well that you're going to fix certain things as well. But the main thing is pop the big bubbles first, and no different to all these things when you're trying to get your handicap down, the simple way is purely try and to look at your game, look at where you are actually missing and actually wasting your shots, target them, and you will start coming down in your handicap. And we are not even talking about anything technical. We are literally just talking about making better choices on the golf course. There you go. Right, guys, well done for everyone who joined in. We're going to have episode 13 fairly soon. Again, comment below where you, not on the chat, not on the, well, you can do it on the chat if you want, doesn't matter, but the main thing is on the comments below. Comment what you would like for a, or just comment anything actually. I would say, like, comment first of all what the topic, what question you would, not the question, because obviously that would be a bit daft, but what kind of area you would like the next question to be surrounded in. And then also comment below with anything else. Again, it's great for the channel with the engagement I get. Generally speaking, I'm pretty decent on certain. Let's have a little, let's have a quick little look, shall we? Whilst we're on the, probably the daftest thing to do this whilst we're going, but oh, I don't know if I can actually. Right, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? Probably on the fly, probably not. Probably do it on my phone quicker. So it's great for engagement and stuff like that. So if everyone can keep liking, keep subscribing, keep on doing all the bits and pieces like that, I'll be very much appreciated. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so at the moment, I'll just move this out of the way so I can actually see. I've got an A rating, but that one in the middle there, that's a B. So what I need, guys, I need you, if you can do, to keep commenting, keep liking, do all those bits and pieces. I will keep on trying to reply to as many answers I can possibly can, even at 3 o'clock in the morning and weird and wonderful time. So if you do get a reply from a YouTube comment at a weird, wonderful time, that's me. I don't sleep. So, right, guys, Thank you very much for joining in. Appreciate it as always. And I will see everyone for the next video tomorrow, 3:30 on Sunday, UK time. Obviously watch that one. And then I will see everybody for that video. And for the members, I will see you on Monday for the live stream where we're going to be talking about some, well, I won't get into it because obviously it's certain things we talk about in members which necessarily we can't say to the wider world as such. Right, guys, appreciate it as always. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining in. Well done for the people that answered any kind of answer, because they scored fairly well on this one. And we will be back for the next episode 13 from Stats and Strokes very soon. Make sure you get the bell icon on, because if you've not got the bell icon on, notified for all notifications, you're not notified when I upload a video, and we'll only have sort of 2-3 days to answer. So there you go. So right, guys, hope you're well. We'll see everyone. Hang on. It's the urban style. Don't suit it, do I? No, it doesn't. I'm many 2 decades old to go down that route. Anyway, guys, see you soon. Take care. Hope you're well. Bye-bye.